Shakur Stevenson should be on top of the world. He's a champion again, 2 division, beating Jamel Herring. And guess what? He calls out Oscar Valdez again. And I'm about to talk about all that and more in this very video. Stay tuned. Yo, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back. Listen, I don't know how you found the video, but somehow, some way, you made it. Help others arrive at the content by throwing a like on the video. It goes a long way when you guys do that. It's simple, it's free, and reach one, teach one. It helps others find the content. Now, Shakur Stevenson should be on top of the world. He just beat Jamel Herring, as you see in this picture, and he did it in phenomenal fashion. Much to break down. I did a Boxingego watch party. Shout out to everybody who joined and was a part of that. Very special fight. 2 division champion Shakur Stevenson is. And he says, I'm the champ again. And I'm advising the rest of the 130-pound division to stay in your lane because I'm coming for all the belts now. I love the hunger, the determination, and the desire from Shakur Stevenson. Post-fight, he said a lot of good things. I want to get into him calling out Oscar Valdez, particularly because this needs to be the next order of business. Shakur is very hungry. He is very confident. And post-fight, he even said some of these things. He said that I'm a disciplined fighter. I got a great team. I had an amazing camp. Nothing personal against Jamel Herring, but I'm just a competitor, basically. I'm just paraphrasing. He said, I'm a competitor. It's a fight. You know, apologize to his wife for the antics, but you know, we about to go to war. And now that it's over, I don't got nothing against the dude personally, blah, blah, blah. And he says, I'm very disciplined. He even put on his social media that he's the type of fighter that all he does is boxing. He said he thinks about it year-round, 24/7. Now, he also says, now we've been calling out Oscar Valdez for how long now? Now I see Top Rank and boxing reporters with a voice talking about Valdez versus Navarrete. So now, after taking the belt from the champion, Jamel Herring, and the best performance of my career, which is exactly what I said, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. I told you it's the best performance, most complete performance of his career. He said, now we talking about Oscar Valdez fighting a 126-pounder? Come on now. And listen, I wholeheartedly agree with what Shakur Stevenson is talking about. I told you, old media is full of shape shifters. That's my word for them. This is what they do. What they do is they'll say woom woom wompty, and when whatever happens that they didn't want to happen, what happens from that point is they'll then start shape shifting from the actual points they were making previously, and they'll switch to something completely different. Listen, Navarrete just beat somebody that Shakur Stevenson already beat, Joet Gonzalez. If I'm not mistaken, Joet Gonzalez was undefeated when Shakur fought him, and he beat him handily. So why would we be talking about Navarrete, as Shakur Stevenson illustrated? Why would we be talking about him moving up, which he probably can move up. He looks like he has the frame to move up, but that's beside the point. Why would the conversation, instead of being a unification versus Valdez, like he said, how long have we been calling out Oscar Valdez? So instead of a unification, that's a ready-made fight, 2 Olympians, 2 top-ranked fighters, it's a unification in the same division right now. Nobody got to move, nobody got to change, nobody got to do nothing but show up and sign the contracts, you know? And now people are trying to switch the narrative, and Shakur Stevenson peeped it and he called it out. So fair play to him, props to him for doing that, because this is what you have to do when it comes to old media. And Shakur called out Oscar Valdez again, which I'm going to get into right now. Roll the clip.
You saw that blood streaming from his face.
I smelled blood. I saw he was bleeding. I'm like, okay, I got to attack the cut. So every punch I was looking for, I was trying to touch the cut, just to make the doctor stop it.
The first title you ever won was a vacant belt. This one you had to take from another fighter. How did that feel?
It felt amazing. I want to be a superstar in the sport. I'm here to last. I take my craft very serious. I'm disciplined. I did a strong camp. I want to thank my team, Coach Wally Moses, Jack, Dirk, Kay. I had a strong team. They got me prepared for this, and we was in the gym grinding.
Everyone talks about...
I love my family and friends, too. I appreciate y'all.
Everyone talks about the young princes, kings, whatever you want to call them, at 135 who don't step into the ring against one another. But here at 130, there's champions who want to fight. Who do you want to fight?
I mean, there's only one fight left at the end of the day. It's the biggest fight in the division. Oscar can't keep ducking. It's time for him to fight. It's me versus Oscar Valdez. There's nothing else to look forward to. The 130-pound division, we need to unify. Let's get it.
That's exactly what boxing needs. Shakur, one last message to your fans.
Now, you heard from Shakur out his own mouth. Now, this is the thing that I love about some of these American fighters, and in this case, 2 African-American fighters, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, top talents, and they look like they could hold the torch and definitely continue to show a lot of promise throughout boxing. The thing I like is neither of these guys, Devin Haney, and I'm going to group them into one statement because they're both doing the same thing. In their respective divisions, neither of these guys are mincing their words. When they talk and when they speak about who they want to fight, there is no discussion. It's not up for discussion. They're telling you straight on who and what they want to do. Very eloquent and very clearly, and they're speaking on what their future holds. Shakur just told you. He said, I'm a disciplined fighter. I'm focused. I'm really dedicated to my craft, which he later reiterated on his Twitter account. And they said, what do you want to do next? He said, he had the mic. He said, I want to fight Oscar Valdez. That's the only fight that matters. You know, everything, that's the end all be all. We've been calling him out. We need to get it. Let's get it. Oscar Valdez can't keep ducking me. End quote. Right? Very precise, very, very clear. Now, when you ask other fighters, sometimes even probably Oscar Valdez, who he wants to fight, it's more ambiguous, I can assure you. I think Oscar Valdez said something to the effect of, oh, I'm down. You know, I heard Shakur call me out, but maybe that could happen and da-da-da-da. It's not, I promise you, it is not as direct as Devin Haney is at lightweight when he says, I want to fight Teofimo Lopez. I want to fight Lomachenko. I want to fight against Wompty. You know what I mean? I want to fight against Joseph Jojo Diaz. It's very clear. Shakur, same energy, same exact energy. He told you precisely who he wants to fight and how he wants it to go down. And the beautiful thing about what Shakur Stevenson did is he became a champion, which is a given, but he called out the man and put additional pressure on him to make the fight. And at the end of the day, he shut up any critics. He even said post-fight, he said, I want to thank Tim Bradley because that was additional or extra motivation for me to get real right. He said my last fight was boring, so I wanted to put on a fight where it was entertaining. Now, the other thing is, if you look at Shakur Stevenson's face, and I've been in boxing for a long time, so I don't judge a fight necessarily based on how the condition of someone's face, but sometimes you have to look at that. And when you're talking about Shakur Stevenson,
when you saw that blood streaming,
look at his face at the end of the fight. It shows you his ring IQ is up because at the end of all of his fights so far, so good, and it doesn't even look like he was in the fight. You know, he could go to the club right now and no one would know that he was in a fight. That means he wasn't getting touched. And this has been the case for really all of Shakur's fights. So you got to give him, that's a testament to his defense and his ability to think and his ring IQ and things like that. So very impressive stuff all in all from Shakur. I like the pressure that he's putting. He shows he's in shape. You can see him right there. He's a phenomenal talent. Now, old media can't shapeshift. There's no escape from this one. We need to see unifications. Like Shakur is pointing out, people are trying to switch the narrative and talk about Navarrete versus Oscar Valdez, and they're not even in the same division. People are trying to switch the tone in the conversation. ESPN, I seen they posted another comment about how Shakur said in the future a great fight would be Tank Davis. Look, it says me and Tank down the line will be an amazing fight. But you see old media is trying to reroute and switch the conversation to make that the focal point of Tank Davis, who already has a fight December 5th against Rolly at another division, and he fought previously at 140, and then people are trying to pit the two black fighters, Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis, against each other, and it's supposed to be an escape route for Oscar Valdez. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the only fight I really want to see Oscar Valdez in. If he's not going to fight Robinson Conceição, then he needs to fight Shakur Stevenson. And even I think the Shakur Stevenson holds more weight because it's a unification. They lied, and I don't think Robinson Conceição lost the fight. I think he was robbed of a victory, but whatever. The judges gave it to Oscar. It looked like from the beginning it was a setup. They let him fight after failing a VADA test with the clean boxing rules. So it is what it is. He technically got past him. So why not move on to Shakur Stevenson? Fans need to demand what's right. They're both with top rank, both Olympians. They both have a great style to create complexities and conflict with each other. And Shakur is being very vocal about what he wants. And this has been the case. I could show old videos where he was calling out Oscar Valdez when he was at featherweight. Now they're both at 130. Like Shakur said, you can't duck this smoke forever. He said, I'm a student of the game. This is my art. This is my craft. And I'm about that. So I, to this point, as of me recording this video, have not heard anything from Canelo's gym or from Oscar Valdez. So the fans need to pressure it. Why be when he failed with the T, they had him doing damage control videos and tweeting and professing his innocence. Now Shakur has called you out. I would like to see a response to that. Because again, when you had to clear your name, which you didn't do, you said, I think it came from Herbal Tea. They had Oscar Valdez all on the mic trying to plead his case. So I would love to hear a response from Oscar Valdez. If you guys see that, make sure you send it to me. Other than that, Shakur, sky's the limit. He's doing his thing. He's one of the youngest in charge, and he's coming off a great performance. You can't say it was boring. You can't say he ran. You can't say nothing. All you can do is give props and push for the Oscar Valdez fight. And I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.